Savings and investment spending. In the savings investment identity of an open, complex economy, investment spending is equal to national savings plus savings from around the world, which flow into the country in the form of capital inflow in an open economy. Once again, capital inflow is equal to imports minus exports, or KI equals IM minus X. Investment spending identity, then, is investment spending equals private savings plus government savings plus savings from around the world, or capital inflow. Hence, investment spending equals national savings plus capital inflow, or the equation NS plus KI. We now have the savings investment spending identity. In order for a country to engage in investment spending, the country must have savings. Those savings can either come from households, firms, the government, or the foreign sector. Let's look at an example problem. In the following example problem, we are given that GDP for the country is $12 trillion. Consumption spending is $8 trillion. Government spending is $2 trillion. Taxes are $0.5 trillion. Transfer payments are given as 0. Take some time and look back through the equations and determine private savings, government savings, national savings, investment spending, and indicate that your national savings is equal to your value of investment spending that you find in this equation. When you're finished with the equations, scroll ahead to check your work. Here's the example problem solution. We were given that GDP equals $12 trillion. Consumer spending is $8 trillion, government spending is $2 trillion, and taxes are $0.5 trillion, with transfer payments being 0. S private is equal to the equation GDP plus TR minus T minus C. Therefore, substituting our numbers into the equation, S private equals $12 trillion plus 0 in transfer payments minus 0.5 in taxes minus $8 trillion in consumer spending. So therefore, S private equals $3.5 trillion. S government equals T minus TR minus G. T is equal to $0.5 trillion, transfer payments are 0, and government spending is $2 trillion. So our government savings are a minus $0.5 trillion. National savings is equal to private savings plus government savings. So our answer to number 1, private savings, is $3.5 trillion. And the answer to number 2, government savings, is equal to minus $0.5 trillion. Therefore, national savings is equal to the difference between 3.5 and 1.5, which is $2 trillion. Finally, the GDP equation is equal to investment spending plus C plus G. In this example, GDP $12 trillion minus consumer spending of $8 trillion minus government spending of $2 trillion leaves $2 trillion in investment spending. We can therefore conclude that national savings equals investment spending in this closed economy. In other words, our equation 3 in this example of $2 trillion is equal to equation 4, investment spending of $2 trillion. Next, looking at an example of investment spending identity in an open economy where there are capital inflows, all investment spending in the economy is equal to capital inflows plus private savings plus the government budget balance. When the government budget balance is negative, that budget deficit must be subtracted from the money available for investment spending, and hence all investment spending is equal to savings. Contrasting the United States with Japan, where their private savings is in excess of 30% of the country's GDP, they have a net capital outflow, and therefore that amount must be subtracted from money available for investment spending in Japan. In addition, they have a government deficit, and so that money is also not available for investment spending and must be subtracted from private savings, so that national savings available in Japan for investment spending is less than the country's total private savings. One additional item to note, it's important to understand the different kinds of capital: physical capital, human capital, and financial capital. Physical capital consists of manufactured resources such as buildings and machines. Human capital is the improvement in the labor force generated by education and knowledge. Financial capital is funds from savings that are available for investment spending. So a country that has a positive capital inflow is experiencing a flow of funds into the country from abroad that can be used for investment spending. In this video, we have seen that savings equals investment spending. First, we examined savings and investment spending in a closed, simple economy of just households and firms. We then added government, and finally the foreign sector for examination of the savings investment identity in an open, complex economy.